All right. Good evening. Who we got? Welcome, Mel. Welcome, Blame Tag. Welcome, Hybrid. Welcome, Mad Dog. Adria. Um, Mad Dog hates all the peoples. I agree. Hero's correct. Um, we are people. Hybrid says got a $2 raise waiting for me as soon as my final goes away all the way through. Nice. Nice. So get people here. Oh, very nice. Blame Tag. The Serving Times. Don't forget to check out the Serving Times, official sponsor of this podcast. That's very clever. I'll allow it. So, just in case we've got some new peeps peeking around the corner or whatnot that are trying to see what this is all about, Monday nights are basically therapy sessions, a chat room, so to speak. It's not topical, it's not invitation only. If you're watching and you got something to add or something to throw in, go right ahead. We're here to just kind of talk about our weeks, talk about our jobs, things going on. The Retail Warzone podcast on Wednesdays is topical, and we always have a subject to go through. Monday nights are informal, not cookie cutter. Let's just hang out and chat it up for an hour or so. So having said that, one thing I want to say real quick, I just found out a little bit ago that somebody I know lost their spouse unexpectedly, and they're significantly younger than me. I want to go on record as saying that if anything was to happen to Hero, I'd be lost. I just want you guys to know that. So if you ever hear, unfortunately, at some point in time, something's happened to Hero, send help. I won't make it. So, having said that, got the sad stuff out of the way. No Irish. Ooh, not cool. So what's everybody got going on? Real fun. I put up a poll on Twitter right before I came on. Because I keep hearing these people in high places talking about the number one thing that people are looking for in the company they work for is culture. As of right now, with 13 votes, the choices were wages, work-life balance, affordable benefits, and the quote-unquote culture. With work-life balance leading at 46.2, wages at 30.8, affordable benefits at 15.4, and at a whopping 7.7, the quote-unquote culture. So, yeah. You said work life. Yeah. Somebody made a comment that you cannot, there wasn't an option to choose the first three. There's not, because unfortunately that's not how polls work. But I just kind of wanted to see, because we got a little bit of exposure today on Twitter, so maybe we can get some extra feedback, so to speak, and a little bit bigger pool of people to draw from to see what everybody thinks. But I made the mistake of looking at World Economic Forum videos from Davos. I guess it was last week. I sent Blame Tag and Irish a couple of videos. I posted one on Twitter about brain transparency. It's probably one of the most frightening things I've ever seen. Just to kind of paraphrase, imagine you're working for somewhere and they can monitor your brain waves. Let's say you're a desk job, and if your brain waves seem to be showing that you're not being productive, they can zap and kind of like shock you a little bit. So Blame Tag, that's why I wanted you to watch both those videos, because I think you could have some great content for the Serving Times once you go through that. But it's frightening shit. I mean, it's not cool at all. It's about as dystopian as it can get. Also, too, how's everybody doing with eggs? I don't know if anybody caught what I posted earlier this morning, but like one of the top 3 egg producers in the United States burnt to the ground, like over the weekend or whatnot. 100,000 chickens died. So y'all thought eggs were expensive. Now, just wait. Blame tag, you say that. You wouldn't mind the brain thing. At least they'd see how close to violent rage we are. That factors into it because let's say you're in cahoots with somebody on the job doing something illegal, they're going to be matching brain waves and arresting people. Like I said, watch that video. It's crazy, crazy. And the technology's already here. The lady who gave the presentation made sure to say the technology is here. You can use it now. So Mel says, oh my God, I'm out of eggs and now I got to wait for my income tax to get more. So fun fact, like I said, I work in a grocery store. Egg rep came in from one of the larger egg companies out there. Eggland's best. And made a comment that there were some eggs that were going to get discontinued and they weren't really allowed to say what they were, but people were going to be unhappy. And lo and behold, haven't got any more of their eggs in, like your basic dozen. So pretty soon, all these videos and news clips we see about, like CVS and Walgreens locking up basically toothpicks behind security glass. Don't be surprised you walk in somewhere and eggs have security tags on them, or they're behind a locked case where somebody has to get them out for you like a video game. Be like, yeah, can I get somebody from the dairy department over here to open this case? I need to get a dozen eggs. That's where we're heading. Here in Florida, we're going to learn to eat lizard eggs. That's crazy. Florida, man. Definitely. Hero says one of the Misfits food eats delivery things have a promotion for a free dozen per month. Okay. That's like the Brinks truck. Actually our dairy manager had a float full of eggs and I'm like, I pictured it as like a mini Brinks truck. It's like you need somebody standing in the middle of them with like a gun, poking through a hole, in case somebody tries to get them. The Mad Dog says, dude, can we merge brainwave stuff with customer score? Like you can see what color the customer is depending on how stupid they are. No, because it will never be used for that. It will only be used to penalize workers and keep us in line. More work. Blame Tag says, I need to take notes for articles on these nights. Florida man starts lizard egg farm. Yeah, because Blame Tag, the therapy sessions, you should be able to gain a lot of stuff out of them. Just with the random nonsense that comes through, there's no telling what you can come up with. By the way, the Serving Times latest article is fantastic. It just to give you guys an idea, it talks about people using self-checkout, trying to get W-2s for doing the cashier's job. It's hilarious. Chef's kiss. Work of art. Beautiful. Go check it out. Let's see. Anything I missed? Blame Takes also said that could be the article. Employer hides all sharp objects after using brainwave reader on staff or something like that. Yeah. Adria says that she went to her most reliable, cheapest egg place today and the price was up 30%. Yep. The egg thing's crazy. It's absolutely crazy. And there's been a lot of talk about there's like some quiet attack on the food production in the United States because, there's a rather long documented trail of different food facilities just getting torched and burnt to the ground. And, my way of thinking is, well, let's see. Let's say you're doing eggs. Your place burns to the ground. You get an insurance payout. And then when you return to business, you can claim that the eggs cost twice as much to produce and you get double profits. So it's like a win-win. So I think if they really investigated that, I don't think the nefarious part would be people trying to disrupt the food chain. I think it would be businesses trying to find a way to double dip and pocket the insurance claim and then turn around and have a valid excuse to gouge everybody. That's kind of how I see it. Oh, you got something cooking with Cranky as well? Yeah, Cranky won the poll, so we got to hurry up and get to her and have a ask her anything on a Monday night. And like I said, just want to throw out there again, starting in here just a few weeks, Irish becomes the co-host, so that'll be cool. That'll be awesome, actually. But good stuff. Hero says if you have 4 distribution centers and your smallest one burns down, yeah, but at the same time, like this thing that burnt down today is Hillendale Eggs, or Hillendale Farms, and they're like the top 3, if not the number 1 exporter of eggs in the United States. So go figure. Welcome, Blank Stairs. How's the tree going? By the way, that video did very, very well. Just to let you know, it's sitting at like 230 something odd views. That's by far the best of 2023. So I hope everything's going well for you. Joey K says, I bet money it's due to the terrorist attacks on our food production facilities we definitely had nothing to do with. We need to raise prices. Sorry, guys. I think Joey K just won that argument, hands down. Russell says, we just need to be adults and eat emu and ostrich eggs. Whatever. We sell quail eggs and duck eggs. I mean, I've never tried them, and Hero would tell you I'm kind of a food snob. She says that I've got like toddler taste buds, which I may do, but I would think people that like ketchup on burgers, that's more toddler taste buds than mine. But anyway, that's another topic for another time. We've already went down that road. But I guess, do they taste the same? Russell, have you eaten ostrich eggs? Do they taste? What's the difference in taste? Are they gross or are they good or what? Blame Tag says you probably could make 3 omelets with 1 ostrich egg. Yeah. Joey K says I have a farm from the rural prairie that raises its own chickens. I can source eggs from. Oh, well, see, that's good. That's good. Hybrid says they're creamier. Okay, they're creamier, but do they taste any different? Because I like eggs. Don't get me wrong. I obviously haven't bought any in a while because, I'm a poor victim of capitalism. So, I don't feel like taking out a mortgage or something, or an extra line of credit, through some payday loan to get a dozen eggs. So, they're Amish. That's even better. Even better. Speaking of eggs, I just want to throw this out there. This is random. How many of you eat eggs on cheeseburgers? Just curious. Oh, Hillendale does Eggland's best? Whoa, 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 whoa. So let's back up just a second. Remember, a rep comes in and says Eggland's best is going to discontinue some eggs and people are going to be upset. Then immediately following, their facility burns to the ground. Coincidence? I don't know. Hero, could you message the person that we know that stocks those and let them know, because we weren't sure who handled that. That she will find that very interesting. Blaine Tech says I did a couple of times, but the egg on a burner thing is just kind of meh. A burger, excuse me. Yeah. Mad Dog says hell no. Hybrid says I have before. Yeah, blank stare, same shit, different day at the tree. Yeah. Russell says over easy and poke the yolk right before I place the top bun. I've never had one. It's just a running thing, Hero, when she was pregnant, one day, just random, we go to this burger joint in Atlanta, and she, out of nowhere, was like, hey, I want this burger that's got an egg on it. I'm like, what? It's the only time she ever did it. And she still questions to this day as to why, but she did. Oh, let's see. What is this going on my phone? Hold on. I think this is pertinent to our conversation. Hold on just a second here. Talk amongst yourself. Be nice to the other children. Da-da-da-da. Okay. I'm waiting. I'm waiting. I'm waiting. Uh. Okay, so would you like to give me some context on that picture, or you're going to tell me that the phones are listening again? Um, Laughing Skull Lounge, otherwise known as the Vortex. Living in Atlanta, we had the Vortex. I think the Vortex was overrated. Hybrid, you live down there. Have you had Ted's Montana Grill? Please tell me you have. That's my number one favorite burger. Period. And they have these things called half sours, which are like half pickle, half cucumber things that they put in it. You know, you go to a Mexican restaurant, you get chips and salsa. You go to Ted's, you get half sours, and they're amazing. Um, so yeah, but you know, talking about like groceries. All right, so we took a little trip yesterday into an Aldi just to try to compare, you know, what they got going on versus what we got going on. And I don't know how your guys' Aldis are. Um, you know, how many you have around you or what they look like. The one here looks awful. My youngest calls it the bootleg store because it's mostly knockoff stuff. Um, are there any of you guys that shop at Aldi and see like a big benefit to it? Because I don't, I didn't see enough difference in price to really justify, you know, honestly. Blame tag, you could take that many ways. Just saying. Um, or, Adria, do you have Aldi in Pacific Northwest? Um, you know, Russell, a Hero actually made the comment that their salmon looked pretty good, honestly. And you know, I can't even recall eating salmon. I may have when I was younger. You know, it's not something that's ever been on my radar. I've eaten far more tuna than I have salmon. Whoa, the cheapest store you have around is Trader Joe's. Oh my God. Trader Joe's is not cheap, correct? Because here, Trader Joe's is like one of those bougie stores, kind of like Whole Foods. I have not been to Lidl. Well, that rules me out, hybrid. Um, Mel says we have an Aldi's and not worth a 20-minute drive. See, that's what I'm saying. And, you know, where I work in the Aldi's, I mean, really, truly, I could walk there if it wasn't for traffic and getting run over. I could probably walk, you know, between where I work and there, you know, 10 minutes maybe. So it's not that far. And you would think the store conditions would be somewhat better. I mean, it was tore up from the floor up. And you know, if you look at how they stock, a lot of stuff comes in trays and whatnot. And that place is just getting picked over. I mean, just, you know, ransacked. Now, the one thing they did have that we don't have, they had shaved beef. It looked pretty good. I don't do cheesesteak, but Hero does. You know, maybe one day we go in there and it's not the only one, and it's about not about go out of date. I'll buy some and see how that is. Um, we had Sprouts here, blame tag, and they shut down. They did not make it long. Where I'm at, you know, the big grocery stores are Food Lion, which took over a bunch of Bilo locations when Bilo closed down. We've got a Lidl, but it's way, way, way from here. Aldi, um, Ingles. I'm trying to think. Is there? We have a few Publix. No Krogers are in our neck of the woods. Period. Although we do have in the state several Harris Teeters, with the rumor of a Harris Teeter coming nearby, and it's my understanding that Kroger owns Harris Teeter. So, yay. We went into a Whole Foods once just as a field trip, and because where it's located, That road is just horrible to go on any time of day. I mean, it's the worst main road in the area we live. But one day we just decided to go in there, and it was kind of like, oh, okay. But Lowe's Foods is fantastic. I wish we had one closer to here. Blame Texas. My wife would like me to say that I don't even do any of the grocery shopping anyway. So she's saying that you are an uninformed participant in this conversation. Is that what I'm gathering, Blame Tag? Oh, the fresh market. We do have a fresh market. That's what that one was by Red Bull. All these independently owned and operated, yes, but if you talk to people who work for them, especially managers, they promise a lot of money. Okay, those managers get worked to death. I mean, Aldi's no joke. I mean, no joke. Yeah, Joe. Okay, it's a grocery store chain based out of North Carolina called Lowe's Foods, and it's amazing. And they smoke their own meat, so like when you go in, the place just smells amazing. And they have a beer den. Basically, they have like a craft beer bar in the store. It's very, very nice. Um, Mel says Blame Tag's opinion has been made irrelevant, and Blame Tag says that's what she's implying. Yes. Um, Still grocery retail, so ultimately it sucks. You know, I, I have to say, I'm going to say it again. I'm in grocery, and I love my job. I love where I work. Now, obviously, it changes from location to location, but I got no problems. I mean, yeah, there's your typical garbage that happens in the business, like happens everywhere, but nothing scandalous, nothing, you know, groundbreaking or, newsworthy, so to speak. But, the company's been good to me, so I can't really complain. And any complaints that I really do have come from the fact that I was a store manager for so many years. Just walking off the street, if I never held keys, I'd probably be okay. But, there's a manager thing. Our store's in good shape. It looks good. We don't have a lot of back stock. Everybody for the most part, has a good time, gets along. I got zero beefs. Zero. Hero says we shall strike Blame Tag's grocery statements from the record once Miss Blame Tag's participation is confirmed. Fair enough. Russell says Sprouts is hit or miss on your side of town. Adria says I'm in grocery and it's not bad. I mean, it's you know, when I think the bigger the chain, the worse the conditions could be. Hello, Philly. Welcome. Extra special today. They're extra special every day, sir. Yeah, Adrian. That's really what makes it. I mean, I work with my wife. I mean, I can't. I mean, that's kind of cool. What's really strange is the amount of people who have questioned. Y'all don't mind working together? And we're kind of like, oh, we kind of like each other. It's okay. And it's such a confounding thing for some people, that we both work there and we're okay with it. And my son works there, so I mean it's cool, and it's not far from home. So I mean I'm all right. Yeah, correct. I'm all right. Hybrid says my work wife left me for another store. Oh, Blaine Take says I had a lady come in and ask me the same question she did in October and expect a new response. Well, that's what they do. That's why they're not the sharpest tool in the shed. That's why they're customers, right? Yeah, Russell. I mean, that's locations, from town to town change, but it's I got no complaints. So, Adria, real quick. So the price of rent where you're at, can you kind of throw a ballpark on what the average for, say, like a small 1-bedroom apartment is? I'm curious.
Philly says, so we have 3 people threaten the pharmacist, 1 person tried to throw needles at us, and 1 who said they would set the store on fire and didn't do it. Jerk. Wow. Wow. Erica says 1,500 in her neck of the woods. Joey K says, my sister had someone come into her store and get mad they didn't carry an item she had imagined. Oh, that doesn't surprise me either. Hybrid says, oh shit, 2 people got shot at Ross today. God bless. And Adria says, in Seattle area, about $1,800 for a small 1-bedroom apartment. Ladies and gentlemen, these fuckers are just trying to price us out of existence. I'm sorry. It is insane what they're doing. 900, where Russell's at, I know where you're at. His buddy gets $1,400 for a 3-bedroom across the street from me. Wow. Ross grinds that, yeah. Ross, man, I don't know, man. Ross is, imagine this. I was in the shopping center running a Dollar Tree, and Ross was next door to us. Can you imagine? We'd find like tags from Ross clothes in our bathroom, vice versa, along with needles and all this other shit. It was crazy. Mad Dog says, lady called corporate because we wouldn't give her a larger bottle of lotion for the price of the smaller bottle. Send help and brain cells. Okay. Better than Burlington. Ooh, no. Ross is not. Trust me. 3-bedroom for $145. Well, yeah, Anderson's cheaper. Much cheaper out that way. Oh, and Erica says that's the price point for a studio apartment where she's at. Blame Take says it was $1,200 to $1,500 here back in 18. No idea what it is now, but we're one of the fastest growing cities in the U.S. I can only imagine what it's going to. Yeah, it's going to be bad. Yeah, Mad Dog, you're right. Ross is like Goodwill compared to Burlington. Oh, that's right. Mad Dog was a manager for Burlington. She would know. When I was at Office Max, we worked next door to a Burlington, and I will say at that point in time, they were just hauling people out for shoplifting like 4 or 5 times a day. Cops would be out front. Just insane. What else we got? Take a peep at the poll. 29 votes on the poll. Wages is currently in the lead at 48.3. Work-life balance, 37.9. Affordable benefits, 10.3. And the quote-unquote culture that all these guys in suits and C-suites want to talk about, that's the most important thing they're hearing from prospective employees, is a whopping 3.4%. Fuck you, World Economic Forum. Mad Dog says, Steve, you would die if I told you how much I'm paying for my house in Hickory. Probably. I don't know if I'd die. I don't know. Would I congratulate you, or would I be like, why the fuck are you doing that? Because that's crazy. But yeah, the culture. Mm-hmm. Yeah, Bilderberg too. Exactly. Joey K, American housing market be like 10 square foot studio, $2,400 a month, utilities not included, requires 17 references, 4 months rent in advance, $700 non-refundable security deposit, mind you. Wow. Blame Tag says, my wife said she voted for wage because she can't live off my work-life balance. No, that's true. Me looking at it, obviously I would pick wages. The individual said that you weren't able to pick all 3 at one time. Is right, and I kind of set it up that way. But, wages, work-life balance, and affordable benefits. And that's something else, too, that is just a travesty that, if you're in a low-wage job, okay, you can't afford insurance, right? So you might hit a wage that's enough just to scrape by and pay what you need to pay. And you're like, well, I'm going to get insurance. Then you look at the price of your insurance, and it eats like half your check. And so people don't get insurance because it costs too damn much. Hero says, but Steve kind of chose work-life balance in real life. Yes, I did. I had a moment and I said, that's it. And I do have a good work-life balance now. I mean, sure, the money could be better. The money could be better everywhere. But like I said, I have a lot of benefits. You know, the fact that one benefit is I can walk to work if I need to. I'm less than 5 minutes away in a car, roughly, or 10 minutes walking. I work with my wife and my son. That's cool to me. That's value added. I don't have keys. That's excellent. You know, keep enjoying your sanity, as I think we came up with a while back. I work with good people. We have a good time. I can do my job and go home and leave it there. These are all wonderful things. And it's a shame that a lot of us can find those kind of jobs, but you're never going to make the money that you should make. Okay. Not blaming it on the company per se. We've talked about wages and what a living wage is and whatnot, but that's the only downside. That's it. You know, and if you do your job and you get done and you want to go home, you can. I mean, that's awesome. As long as the job's done, everybody's happy, right? So I told somebody the other day, I said, I'm not paid to be anybody's boss. I'm not anybody's boss, and I'm not asking to be anybody's boss. Those things are fine with me. I'm A-okay with that. Erica says, I will say my insurance is great coverage for $5 a week. Medical, dental, and vision, 1+3 F union membership. Okay. 1 plus of 1 plus. Okay, got you. Yeah, autocorrect. Well, see, we're not unionized. You know, unions are hard pressed to get a foothold in the Southeast. They just are. But yeah, that's great benefits. I mean, it really is. $5 a week. If that's what you get, that's amazing. That's very, very good. And to your point, you know, that's the benefit of having a union that actually does work on your behalf and works on those things for you. Hybrid says, yeah, they want me to pick up a set of keys again. I already said no. That's correct. There was a conversation with me about what my plan was and if I wanted to move up. And, you know, I appreciated it. It was a nice conversation, but I looked at them both and I said, I'm retired. I love what I do. I'm good. Maybe one day I might find myself financially I have to, but today is not that day. So, yep, denied. Joey K says, I love how do your job and go home when you're done is like a perk now, right? Right? It's a perk for sure. Joey K, upstairs neighbor murdered entire family, formerly a meth lab, required income of at least 15 times the rent per week. Yeah, right. That wouldn't be surprising, now would it? The apartment is haunted. Must sign long-term lease at overinflated prices. Well, hybrid, I agree with that. Got another new DM who I've known for a few years, and I told him I won't pick up a set of keys, but I'll travel. Well, with traveling, you know, you get mileage and stuff, right? You get a per diem. You know, that's kind of a bonus in itself. Blake Stair says, I can't wait to turn my keys in for a better job. My mental state was much less crippling anxiety before being a manager for Dollar Tree. Amen, sister. Amen. It's not worth it. Oh, so I just want to let everybody know, you know, about Wednesday night. You know, we're talking about the hiring managers and tattoos and stuff like that. I hope you guys on Twitter saw what I posted, a couple of articles that I found talking about the hiring managers. It's going to, you know, I've done some research. I got to pull some stuff together tomorrow for it. And in Wednesday morning, I'll get it all compiled. Be there for that conversation because it's going to be a hoot. And yeah, since no journalist wants to talk about it, you know, as I'm calling them out on Twitter, I guess we'll just do it ourselves. How about that? But it's going to be a fun time. So yeah, this is kind of cool having the poll up on the other screen, watching it go in real time. Wages, work-life balance, affordable benefits, the culture. Culture's up to 5.9%. Ooh. I doubt seriously it'll crack 10. So whatever. That World Economic Forum stuff, Blame tag, you're when you watch it, you're right in your response to me via direct message. You're probably going to lose your shit watching these people in high up places in suit and ties talking about quiet quitting. And that's where the poll came from, because this one older dude, foreign dude, is talking like, well, the one thing we found in polling applicants is the thing they're seeking out the most is the culture. And I just want to go on record saying is I foresee when a company says culture, it equals we're all a family here. And we know that that is a red flag that you just run. Run. Yeah, hopefully so. Maybe you'll get some riding time. Joey K says, I saw this dude post a Zillow screenshot on Reddit of a 2-bedroom house in Ontario being priced the same a 10-bedroom castle in Scotland. Wow. Wow. You know, that's something that I've always had a problem with is why is the one thing that everybody needs, which is a home, right, the hardest thing to acquire? Wrap your head around that for just a minute. The one thing that everybody needs is damn near the hardest to get. If that doesn't tell you the state of the world or the state of the country that we're in, that pretty much says it all. Mel says, Matt, get your work-life balance. Call in so you can be here Wednesday. Yeah. We'll start passing out retail war zone absentee slips. Oh, speaking of which, you know, it was brought up a couple nights ago. Why do I not have up a place where people can print out retail war zone business cards, basically, to give to people? I'm going to do that probably Wednesday and have something put up somewhere where you guys can do it. What I would like to do, I'm not going to make it colorful, because if somebody does decide to, you know, I know what the cost of ink is, so I'm going to make it pretty minimal, you know, so you're not blowing, you know, a bunch of ink. Yes, it's going to have a QR code on it. I already have a QR code. I've had a couple, actually. And then I saw a thing on Reddit on how to create your own QR code, and I read about 30 seconds of the chart and said, nope, not for me. Ain't that smart. There's a bunch of math involved, and I suck at math, except for business math. But, you know, we were having a discussion about the kids with algebra and whatnot, and I did terrible with, like, algebra and stuff like that. You know, once letters and numbers started intertwining, I was out. Bye. Hero says, interesting enough, someone had a conversation with me Friday about how you can trust people with tattoos and / or crazy color hair to be a good worker. Like I am. Let's see. Joey K, notice how you get what you pay for became a problem and renamed to quiet quitting when younger generations started implementing it. Correct. I'm just kind of sick of the, let's come up with a new catchphrase just to blame, you know, the workforce for all the world's problems. It kind of goes back to Blame Tag's article for the Serving Times about the dude taking too long of a lunch break and it crashed the economy. To hear people talk, you know, like quiet quitting and all slack task, all these little catchphrases they come up with. I mean, one day Blame Tag's articles become like prophecy, because that's how they treat us. It's like, you know, oh, the economy shit. Well, it's you low wage workers' fault. Okay, you know. Hybrid says, I has no hair or tattoos, and Mad Dog can vouch I is hard worker. Yeah. Blame Tag says, treat your labor like a subscription, and they haven't unlocked the premium service. They're just paying for the basic package. Yeah. I tell you what, though, Blame Tag, you know, you were on it when you were talking about the gig work thing. And, you know, when we had The Economist on, and you raised the question, do you think companies will go to a model like kind of like DoorDash where people can just pick shifts and work? And he was like, no. And then lo and behold, we saw where they did. You called it, Blame Tag. You predicted the future there. Congrats. And we have a video document showing it on the Retail Warzone. That's awesome. Mad Dog says, I have all the tattoos and piercings and I'll work to support my habit. Yep. Plain Text says, oh yeah, I called that shit. You did. You did. And if you think about it, it makes sense that businesses won't do that. You know, contract work, basically. They can pin anything bad on that person. Not, well, I mean, they would pin it bad on an employee anyway, but low overhead right there, buddy. Russell, that is dead on. You know, a lot of the older folks who like to argue that you just need to pull up your bootstraps and work hard. The mindset has not changed with those folks because it's not the same anymore. You can't do that. You know, it's like you said there, the husband could work, pay for everything, mortgage, car, college, linens, etc. Now you just can't do it. No, you cannot do that. And what's even crazier is you see these reports about people making over $100,000 a year are still living paycheck to paycheck. That I kind of take issue with, because if I was making $100,000 a year, I would be fine. Oh, we'd have a grand old time. You know, if you're making $100,000 a year, you know, you've grown accustomed to a lifestyle that, you know, you've been priced out of. So then at that point, you need to downsize. And these people were living paycheck to paycheck to support that lifestyle. Oh, the co-host has fell asleep. Welcome, Irish. Make sure you're on the right account. FYI. Oh, that Keeping Up with the Joneses, yeah. Blaine Tag says, now my wife is demanding I pay for her linens. Thanks a lot. By the way, Blaine Tag, can you give me some insight to a non-consensual relationship with a cult? Just curious. But the co-host has also woke up. That's correct. You know, when is Mrs. Blaine Tag getting community spotlight? Look, we've talked about this episode with spouses. Blaine Tag, did you say Mrs. Blaine Tag was down with being on, talking about her experiences dealing with you working in retail? Was that a yes or no? I can't remember. We've talked about it so many times. Because I really would like to do a one-on-one with Miss Blaine Tag. I think that would be fascinating to get some insight into the inner mental workings of Blame Tag. I think that would be like what they call must-see TV. Whoa, wait a minute. Hero says if Blame Tag is paying for linens, Mr. Hero should pay for mine. No. I did not sign on the dotted line paying for linens. We're not talking about the linens. That song. Long Kiss Goodnight. She says everyone wants to do a one-on-one with Mrs. Blame Tag. Okay, I got nothing. So who really writes? I'm curious as to, you know, how much credit should be given to Mrs. Blame Tag for the Serving Time's newfound success. Mel says, I vote yes for Mrs. Tag. Also, why is everybody suddenly getting new linens? I'm not buying no linens. Russell started that mess. He started that garbage. See, that's why Monday nights are fun. We got this nonsense going on. This is fantastic. But you know, wow, it's silly, but it's fun. Because I know that Mrs. Blame Tag, helped with the lyrics for Please Don't Be a Karen this year. Blame Tag says, sorry, she's laughing very loudly. Can you repeat the question? The question was, how responsible is she for the newfound success of the Serving Times? inquiring minds would like to know. Springtime, got to freshen up. Nope. Linens. Linens. I mean, why do we call them linens? You know what's really funny is we had a conversation here. My youngest, hero grew up in a very proper family and knows proper etiquette and whatnot. And the look on her face when my child says, "How come there's two kinds of forks? It's just a fork. Just eat with it." Oh my God. And then I didn't help out any because I'm like, well, yeah, I mean, it's a fork. I mean, I don't see me going to a dinner at Buckingham Palace anytime soon. So fuck it. It's a fork. Eat with what you got. How many of y'all were raised, there's two forks? Oh, see, there she is. Shake my head. It's very classist to be, oh, you have to eat a salad with this fork. And oh, you have to eat this with this fork. No, it's a fork. I'm going, that's why KFC gave us the spork, to basically spit in the face of etiquette. Be like, oh, you people in the palace, figure this shit out. Here's a spork. Mel says there's big forks and little forks. Why? Who knows? Hybrid says, I didn't even know there were two spoons till I was in middle school. Well, then you get older and find out there's more than that because people use them to make heroin. But anyway, that's a different story, different time. Blame Tag says, oh, nothing goes up without her approval and edit. She gives me a lot of ideas for things to add or change. Also, the odd idea here and there for an article. Blame Tag, you are a champion. You are a good partner for admitting that. Hero gives me good ideas too. She says I don't read them. Sometimes I don't because I forget. But she has come up with some really, really good shit. Blame Tag, she won't take credit, but she's pretty much an equal partner of the serving times. There we go. That's what I like to hear. So anyway, you didn't ask the question. Is she okay with, one day coming on and talking about the inner workings of the Blame Tag mind and what she's had to deal with you in retail? I mean, we can bring other spouses on too, so it's just not her. Whatever. Mel says, wait, what? There's different spoons? Yes. Irish says, anyone that corrects my choice and fork will get it in the eye. Yes. Speaking of which, there's a movie called Haggard that was done by Bam Margera and his crew many, many years ago. And one of the opening scenes is Ryan Dunn gets stabbed in the eye with a fork. Fun fact. She said, oh, I don't fucking know that shit. Oh, okay. A hybrid says hero, Mrs. Blame Tag, and Mrs. Irish on an episode. Ladies night. I'm okay with that. I'm perfectly fine with that. Dig a hole and break some bottles behind the Wawa. Yeah, that movie is something else. Something else. And then the special features at the end with the Chinese rap. Yeah, that's funny. Blame Take says, but she's game. I just don't know if I should worry about what she'd say. Look, man, just suck it up like a good man. They know more about us than we know about ourselves. I mean, that's just fact. And, you have to admit that your wife's right. It's just how that works. Andrew chimes in, a fork is a medieval torture device. The Ming hangs. Yeah. Russell says, Bam is a sad story. I watched him recently on Steve-O's Wild Ride. He's a mess, but you'll see what happens. Blaine Tank says she'd like that. She has a lot of book club experience, so that should help with the discussion. Oh God, somewhere down yonder, Blaine Tag just got a smack to the head. Blaine Tag says she's the kicking people out for not reading the book person. Oh. Well, I mean, if you're going to be in a book club, I mean, you got to read the material, right? I mean, I don't know how a book club works. I've never been in one. God, I can't remember the last. I think the last book I read was The Heroin Diaries, and that's been like years. I don't read books. Hero says, "Oh, we'll skip the podcast and do a 3-part tell-all. Tell whatever you want. I'm pretty much an open book. I don't really care." She said, "Exactly. Yep." Mad Dog says, "I thought just drank wine and spilled tea." Oh, okay. Yeah, some good stuff. Um, but yeah, I mean, it's a oh blame tag. We could have like the Real Housewives of the War Zone. We could have our own show. See, they come up with great ideas. Look, we can have a show on the E Network, Real Wives of the Retail War Zone. That'd be better than all that other shit that's on TV. Uh, Blame tag says you must have read Life on the Grocery Line. Call it trenches. Hero says, um, Mad Dog says, like Sister Wives 3-part tell all. However, like, fuck yeah. Okay. Wow. That sounds like a fun show. It would be. I don't know. I mean, to connect everybody, I mean, that's, we all work like in retail and grocery and shit. We can't afford to fly to Ireland. So Irish, you need to hurry up and hit that lottery over there you're talking about. Or if one of us can hit it here, I don't know. Oh, well, good. Blaine Tyke, she said her life is not defined by her relationship to me, as it should not be. Same thing with Hero. Adri says Deli Wars. I have lots of ideas. Oh, I got to ask, Adri, have you ever seen anybody lose a finger to a Hobart? Only those real workers know what a Hobart is, just to let you know. Oh, wow. Up to date voting, 50 votes. Work-life balance has taken the lead at 46%. Wages is 42%. And affordable benefits and culture are tied at 6%. Wow, this is fun. We have to do this more often where I've got like real-time stats going on. Anyway, just to let you guys know, there was a little bit of extra exposure today. I had, you guys saw if you're on Twitter, you saw the thing I posted with the teachers. There was a teacher who had an article written about her. She wound up going to Costco, and she said it was a better life working at Costco than being a teacher. And no shame in that. I mean, if it's better, that's great. Okay, but I made the comment that if retail has become a better profession than teaching, that says an awful lot. Well, there's a rather big individual or group of people on Twitter called "Fuck You, I Quit," who happened to get a hold of that tweet, and it exploded. Just to give you an idea, let me pull this up real quick. I'm just curious because I haven't looked at it in a minute. Let's see here. Because we don't really get hung up on numbers and stuff. And because, all of us, Blame Tag, you and I know because, you post the stuff for, the serving times. You might get good numbers from time to time. And a lot of people freaked out about like seeing the view count on Twitter. I don't really care. But so far, this damn tweet is sitting at 65,500 views, 2,762 likes, and 350 retweets. That is insanity. Absolute insanity. And I had to turn the notifications on my phone off today at work because I'm like, what the hell just happened? And I realized what happened. I'm like, oh my God, because Fuck You, I Quit has like 380,000 followers. I'm like, Jesus, Lord. So that was pretty interesting. So we got a little bit of a bump there, and hopefully some people check out what we do and like it and come hang out and whatnot. Maybe they won't. It's all good. But I started out today with like 1,260 followers, something like 1,260, and now the account has 1,310. So yeah, it's crazy. So, it's interesting, We'll take all the help we can get. But maybe we get some people involved to see what we do and they like it, and that's cool. Like I said, we're not for everybody. We're kind of niche in what we do. I know Mel, I think it was you who made the comment about, when they had it showing where you could see the views on your tweets. And I was like, never worry about the numbers because you're going to turn it into like retail where you're worrying about payroll. Don't worry about the numbers. They're just going to be what it's going to be. You can't, you can lead a horse to water, but you can't make him drink. Right. So you and that damn Kirby fleshlight, are you ever going to let go of that? How long have you been doing that? Blame taxes. It made me want to apply at Costco. By all accounts, Costco's great to work for. So what are we looking at? I missed something. Deli Wars. A team's call. It'd be like Celebrity Squares, yeah. Adrian says, I burned myself on the cheese wrap yesterday. Could have been much worse. Yeah, that shit hurts, man. Adrian says, I saw the fuck you, I quit tweet. Yeah, that was insane. I mean, it's still going. I mean, it's notification after notification. I mean, like right now, 2 more, like the tweet or whatnot. It's like insane. I remember when it first started happening, I walked over to Hero at work and I was like, this is going on. She's like, good job. I'm like, well, it's not like good job anything. I'm like, I got to turn my phone off. It's about to kill my battery, So it's I mean, it's cool. I'm not gonna lie, but I don't get hung up on that stuff. In a perfect world, you'd love to have millions of subscribers on YouTube and all this. It just is what it is. It's, you either like it or you don't. And I'll go back to, my favorite band is Kiss. By the way, today is a momentous day in the music history world. Today is the official 50th anniversary of the first time Kiss ever performed. And to quote Paul Stanley and use it for what we do, if you love us, that's great. If you hate us, that's fine too. If you're in the middle, get the fuck out. So that's kind of how I look at it. If we get a sub, great. We lose a sub, great. It just is what it is. I do this for my own sense of therapy, and I do this to kind of give back for all the misgivings of being, a store manager forced to do things to people that I probably didn't want to do or shouldn't have done. So that's what all this has been about for me, is kind of like giving back. I don't make money on it. I don't monetize it. Now, don't be foolish. I mean, if the bottom fell out and all of a sudden this thing exploded, yeah, I would monetize it. But I wouldn't monetize it, to the extent some of these people. I mean, you're never going to see me do a spot for Raycon earbuds. Let me just say that. How about that? And you're never going to see me have a Patreon. It's never going to happen. Or a subscription button to where, pay me X amount of money to get extra content. Hey, look, I'll work a full-time job. So the content you guys get is the content that I'm able to make. That's it. So it just is what it is. Plain Text says, ooh, Kirstie Alley's house is on sale in my area. Too far from work, though. Oh, come on, man. Too soon. Best thing about Kiss is Shannon Russell. Shut your fucking mouth. That's wrong. Best thing about Kiss is I don't know Kiss. Correct, Adria. Niche is good. Don't change just for numbers. Very important. Yeah, because I see people, like there's an individual on YouTube that I used to follow that I quit following. In the beginning, they were doing videos about retail and stuff like that, and they were very serious in their demeanor, and they acted like they cared. Then they got big, and then all of a sudden their demeanor changed, and it became kind of comedic and became kind of narcissistic and whatnot. And it was, they're a fraud. When you guys see me here with my hats and my hair and what, I mean, this is me. I mean, the people in the stream that actually know me, they'll tell you that's him. You're not getting anything special. I'm not. The only difference is, before stream, I'll make sure I straighten my hair if I haven't done anything with it. It's all curly and like a rat's nest. That's it. What you see is what you get. This is pure unadulterated Steve, for good or bad. And I don't fucking care if somebody likes it or doesn't. Hey, it's a free country. Do what you want. You know, but I did find that, in some places there was almost like this agenda to down, I'm going to use this term and you're going to know what I'm talking about. There seemed like there was this agenda to downvote everything related to what we do. And I didn't care, other than the fact that it was a waste of time trying to promote over there. So I shut it down. I don't care. If somebody doesn't like it, that's fine. But when it becomes quite obvious that it's done from a gatekeeping standpoint and differences of opinion and whatnot, hey, if any of you guys share our stuff over there on the upvote, downvote channel, I really would kind of encourage you not to, because it's going to be a crapshoot. They don't seem to like what we do over there, and that's fine. To each his own, but sharing, the podcast over there and whatnot, it's just not worth it. You wind up getting blocked because of auto mods, and then you wind up people, who are of a different opinion, especially when you're posting in like anti-work and whatnot. And, it's, the values don't really align, and that's okay. But that's just a weird place over there. Weird. Correct, blame tag. They don't. It's not that they don't understand it. I think gatekeeping is the best way to look at it. I mean, because over there it's like somebody posts something for some clout, right, or some karma, and it's you can't. It's hard to explain. It's an ecosystem all itself, and that's fine. And it's a great site to go to get information and things like that. Because I'm on it every day, but it's just not worth the time or the effort. And and if you have a YouTube channel, you can see what comes in and what comes out, and you get a lot of clicks from there. The one thing I've noticed from what we get from there, it tanks your view time. Your organic viewers watch more of your shit. When something's posted over there, all of a sudden it takes your average viewing time down, and it's just like, whatever, and that's okay. It'd be, if we get 100 views on a video, and I'll be honest with you, if 20 people watched it all the way through and liked it, hell, if 10 did, or if 1 did, that's fine with me. I'm not catering to anybody. I like the community that we've built. I like the people that are involved, and I'm always welcome. We'll always welcome more. But what's happened with all of this has been fairly organic, and a lot of people of a like-minded nature, and that's what makes this cool to me. I don't care that we're sitting at like 300 and something subs, whatever. I mean, that's fine, because I would rather have 300 subs of people that think the same way, and we all have the same kind of stories, and we all feel the same way about the business and all that other. That's worth it more to me than a bunch of people clicking, sub just for the sake of subbing. So, that's why I'm not going anywhere. There are a lot of people that will get tied up in the numbers, and, it's nice to have, but it's not like I'm exactly advertiser friendly. So, and just kind of like not wanting to have keys anymore. I'm not going to change my shtick or who I am or whatnot because Raid Shadow Legends or whatever wants me to sponsor them. Fuck that. No, no, not gonna. So, Adrian says there's a lot of shitty people on social media that are paid to crush anything that supports workers from both sides of the aisle. That is correct. 100%. So, um, but it is what it is. So, having said that, we are over an hour. I'm sure everybody has things to do, people to see, or things to see and people to do. Whatever it is you choose. So, having said that, Wednesday night, we're talking about appearances. We're talking about hiring managers. We're talking about how hiring managers are biased and racist and discriminatory, and no one wants to talk about it. So that's going to be good. Also, too, the serving times. Heads up, shadow dropping a new article tomorrow morning. Make sure you check it out. Same right there, blame tag. So everybody have a great evening. Wonderful spending time with y'all tonight. Have a good time. Stay safe. We'll see you Wednesday night.